Hi and welcome to The Winning Factor. I'm Alan Aitken, and on this show each week we take a look at some upcoming races in Hong Kong and try to isolate the key element of the race, the thing that we might look back on later as having been the pathway to finding the winner. Well, Sunday at Sha Tin, Sa Ladies Purse Day, and the first race we're going to have a look at is race 3, and our winning factor here, the gear change. Now this isn't the strongest of Class 4 races, but we have a few different options. We've got blinkers going on fresh power after a disappointing run as a favourite last start. A couple of useful first starters, On Excel Star and Triple who've shown form at the trials. Majestic Conqueror has run 2 solid races. Amazing Paradise caught the eye in his debut, and even a couple of talented backmarkers in Breeze of Spring and Glittering Armour. So there are a few winning options here, but the horses I want to look most closely at are Amazing Paradise and On Excel Star. Now first of all, let's go back to race 80, and this was the debut for Amazing Paradise. His first time at the races at Happy Valley on October 9, and you see him here in the blue and grey colours from gate 2. He's a bit slow out of the gates, and just watch him through the race, how he travels. He looks very new to what he's doing. It's all unfamiliar to him, having the horses around him, and I think that he's run particularly well here, considering how inexperienced he shows himself to be in the running. So following that, his trainer Danny Shum has decided to tweak things with the horse. In his barrier trial on October 24, Amazing Paradise wore blinkers this time, and you'll see he's much sharper. He's faster out of the gates, he jumps well, he travels well outside the lead, and when he's challenged, Zach Purton just shakes him up and he comfortably holds off Wood on Fire, a horse who we've already seen go to the races and run very well. So now we're going to take a look at another barrier trial, and this time we're going to have a look at On Excel Star, and this was his most recent trial on October 8th. This was his 4th turn at the barrier trials, and certainly his best performance that we've seen. And he's here in the purpley sort of colours. He races up on the lead, and you'll see that in the straight he applies himself well. He challenges Ka Ying Master, already a winner of 2 races, and Ka Ying Master does get the better of him, but I think that's very good work from On Excel Star. But I want you to have a look at him closely as well, because he does have blinkers on. But the difference between these 2 horses off their barrier trials is that one is wearing his blinkers on race day and On Excel Star is not, and that might be a count against him. So the tip in race 3, Amazing Paradise. His winning factor, the gear change. He looked much more switched on in the barrier trial with blinkers. He wears them on race day, and I think that that gives him an edge over On Excel Star, who goes to the races without the headgear. The second race I want to take a look at is race 8. The winning factor here, the trainer. And before we get to the examination of race 8, just a few words about the Trainers' Championship and the situation with trainers in general at this time of year. I tend to think of the first 2 months of the season as, if you like, the phony war, the warm-up championship in a way, because it's from November onwards that the championship contenders really start to come to the fore in most seasons, and often the guys who've started well get run over during the middle of the season. And I'm going to show you a couple of graphics here. The first one of them, this is the top 6 trainers in last year's championship and how they ranked month by month. And you can see here at the end of October, John Size, John Moore and Frankie Law were respectively ranked 6th, 10th and 8th. And they ran 1, 2, 3. But you'll see November, December is when the big moves came from them, and by February they were up the top of the tree. And if you look at the top 6 trainers here, not a great deal of movement from the end of February onwards in most seasons. And if I showed you more trainers all the way down to the bottom of the table, that plays out pretty much across the board. So it becomes difficult for trainers to make ground. If they want to be contenders, this is the time of year they have to start to move. And we do see that from John Size every year. And this graphic shows John Size's average winners per month versus Danny Shum's average winners per month. And I've chosen Danny because he is currently leading the championship, and perhaps a lot of people would imagine that he is therefore favourite to win it. But John Size, every season we see this big move from him from November onwards, and he really spikes in his winners during the months through to about March, and that gets him from where he is currently 14th in the table, that gets him to the top and very hard to run down. So time to get back to race 8 now and a look at the prospects for that race. And when we look across the field here, the horse that stands out for me is John Size trained Pickin. Certainly there are other chances, other horses that will have fans. Money Back was a good run at his Hong Kong debut at Happy Valley. Zach Purton is on Regency Bobo here, a chance. And also down at the bottom of the weights we have Flying Victory and Prince of Gems with light weights, and they have winning possibilities here also. But I want to show you the return to racing of Pickin last month, and this was an excellent effort. So we're looking here at race 96, and you'll see wide on the track here in red and white colours, that's Pickin. This is the race won by Craig Starr, and Craig Starr had a dream run in the race. Pickin, not so much. He was caught out wide, had a tough run. But you can see here he's fighting on very bravely at the finish and runs a close-up 4th. This time he's drawn better, and we'll take a look at the map. And he shapes to get a really nice run here. I think we'll see speed from Mighty Maverick, Prince of Gems, and possibly Regency Bobo, although he's become a bit unreliable these days at the jump. And Pickin should get a run just behind the speed and saving more energy for the finish this time. So the tip in race 8, Pickin, his winning factor, the trainer. John Size, he's sitting in 14th place on the table at the moment. But this is the time of year when we always see him start to make a move, and it's a move he has to make, because if he's not up in the contenders in the next couple of months, then defending his championship is going to be tough. But I think Pickin gives him a great chance to kick off November with a winner. Well, that's it for the winning factor this week. Good luck on Sunday. We'll see you next time.